Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited for today's video. I wasn't even planning on filming today. We actually just got back from a little play date while we still have some nice warm weather going on, but a really exciting package just showed up, so I thought I would whip out the camera and do a little unboxing. I don't know if y'all can see this. This is a big old box of meat from ButcherBox. I'm so excited. I am working with them on today's video, which is so exciting. I'm sure you'll have heard of ButcherBox. I feel like everyone has tried it or has at least like heard about it. I feel like they're like the primary like meat delivery slash like subscription service, and I cannot wait to open this up. I don't know exactly what's in here, so we're gonna be a little bit surprised and open it together. I don't know about y'all, but I feel like this is adult things. I get so excited for like nice high quality meats and like a variety of them, especially like delivered right to your door. You don't even have to actually shop for the meat. Like, what gets better than that? So I'm gonna set you guys up on the tripod. We're gonna open this up together. It's gonna be a little surprise. I'm so excited. So if y'all haven't heard of ButcherBox, which I'm fairly confident you have, but if you haven't, they're like a premium meat subscription service, and their stuff is, like I said, premium. This is grass-fed beef, organic chicken, wild-caught fish, pork raised like outside of a crate. Like, all this stuff is very like sustainable and ethically sourced and all that kind of stuff, which I feel like kind of matters when it comes to meat especially. And I also just feel like you can't beat the convenience. I'm a mom of two now, as I'm sure most of y'all know, so my availability for like going to the grocery store, even frankly like going to like grocery pickups, like my time is significantly decreased now with two kiddos as compared to one, as compared to before I had kids, where I would like meander the grocery store for hours. So the convenience of this just like can't be beat. The freshness, the quality, like all of that stuff, this is just like kind of the best of the best. So we're gonna open this together. I was actually thinking, especially with the holidays coming, y'all, it is August when I'm filming this. It's about to be September, like tomorrow. But I'm already, like, I've already ordered our Halloween costumes. I'm already shopping for all my kids' birthday gifts, which is at the end of October, and Christmas and all the things. Like, I'm already thinking about the holidays and fall. It's just on the brain. And I feel like this could be a really good gift option as well, right? Like, I feel like sending someone some really nice, like, high quality meats, like, who wouldn't be thrilled about that? Like your dad, your grandpa, even just like getting it for your husband, your boyfriend, or the women in your life too that like to grill and stuff. Like, I don't know, I just started like spiraling on gift ideas. So let me situate this and we will unbox it. Okay, I just pulled out all of the dry ice. I'm trying not to peek. I'm literally so excited. I feel like this is literally, speaking of Christmas, this feels like Christmas, but like from my refrigerator. They have a few different box options that you can do. You can like customize your box, which they have like I think they have like 25 plus different cuts of meat, and obviously again from seafood to pork to beef, chicken, all of that kind of stuff. They have so many options, so you can totally customize your box, and it can like be different every single time if you want to switch it up. Or you can choose their curated box, which will have things kind of like pre-selected for you, and it can kind of be a little bit of a surprise. You can kind of get the chance to like try things that maybe like you wouldn't have normally picked out on your own. So there's a lot of options depending on what you're in the mood for, or again maybe who you're gifting it to. And the custom box can have up to like 14 pounds of meat, which could be like 30-ish meals, and then the curated box has up to like 11 pounds of meat, which is like 24-ish meals. So you're getting a lot for your money, especially for the quality and the convenience. Like I said, it's literally just shipped to your door, and the shipping's free, which I don't know about y'all, but I am like by principle just against paying for shipping. So if the shipping's free, I like automatically feel like I'm getting a better deal. I'm just not paying for shipping. And if you're the type to be worried about like antibiotics and hormones and stuff in your meat, none of the stuff that they will send you will ever have antibiotics or hormones in it. Like, none of it. So it's just like stuff you can trust. And I feel like at the grocery store, you might have to like read labels or know certain brands. This is just, out of all your meat shopping options, definitely like one of the easiest and most convenient, but also probably one of the most trustworthy. So let's get into this box. I'm literally so excited. I'm gonna give it a little peek into the box. Also, I'm not gonna look at the sticker here because that also says what's in here. And I just kind of want to be surprised with you guys. Is that weird to be excited for like a mystery box of meat? So here's what we got. This is also like super well packaged. I don't know if y'all can tell, but this is like very climate controlled. Oh my gosh, this is like loaded, y'all. This was also like very heavy. There's definitely a lot of meat in here. So first on top is this wild cut sockeye salmon. I am so obsessed with salmon. I especially love making sushi bowls. So maybe depending on what's in here, since I don't know what's in here, we can also do a little recipe in this video using one or some of these products. But this is 2 pounds. And what I love about salmon in particular, like just fish in general, the macros on fish, if y'all count your macros, is insane. 150 calories for 25 grams of protein. This is why I love fish, salmon in particular, so much. Plus just like the oils in it are so good, and frankly, it's just delicious. I love meat, like pork and red meat and all the things, but I feel like when it comes to protein, salmon is like one of the most, not only is it like one of the most leanest and densely protein packed meats, but it's just like naturally the most delicious. Like you barely have to season salmon. And I feel like it's just always so buttery and delicious. And I'm sure because this is 10 out of 10 quality wild caught salmon, I'm sure this is gonna probably taste better than like most salmons that I've had before. I'm excited. We should keep track of how many times I say I'm excited. Okay, next we've got a big string of chicken. Oh, chicken tenders. Organic and free range chicken tenders. Okay, I actually love that. Chicken tenders I feel like are one of those things that we don't talk about enough, but especially if you have kids, I feel like making chicken is infinitely more convenient if they're in tender form, because they're like a tender piece of chicken, but also they're like already basically cut up for you. I feel like chicken breasts are a little bit more work because you either have to like slice them down or thin them out or pound them or whatever. I love tenders because they're already like most of the work's done for you. I even half the time just use kitchen shears and just like chop the tenders up into the pan. Like I don't even have to get out a cutting board or a knife. So I feel like they're like a cheat code a little bit just for, again, convenience, especially in the mom life, like saving time making dinner. That's probably exactly what I would have chosen if I had to choose like a cut of chicken. So that's what I mean. Like they have not only like different meat options in terms of seafood, especially like if you're pescatarian or something, but also they have different cuts of each type of meat. So if there's something that you prefer, like tenders, they have the option for that. This is a little over 3 pounds. So these are all about a pound each. Yum. We got some red meat here. This is some grass-fed beef sirloin tips. Beef tips is like one of those meals. I don't know if it's like nostalgic for y'all, but I feel like that's a meal that my dad would make a lot growing up, like beef tips over egg noodles. Do y'all remember that? I don't know if that's like a retro, like a throwback recipe. So I feel like that's not something that you like probably hear about a ton now. But as soon as I saw this, that's like the first meal that came to mind. Obviously there's like a million things to make with beef tips. That's just like a childhood memory that came to mind for me. And as you can tell, these are all frozen right now, and I believe they'll stay frozen the way that they're packaged after they're delivered for another like 6 to 8 hours. So as long as you grab them off your porch, basically like even if they got delivered as soon as you got to work, you'd be home in time to like grab it off your porch and throw it in the freezer, so you don't have to worry about like being home the second these get delivered. So I actually love the way that they're packaged because you kind of like just don't have to worry about them. And for us, we're like on the go a lot, so we're not always home for our deliveries, so that's super handy. This is, oh, these are 2 grass-fed beef ribeye steaks. I love steak so much, and I love that they send you 2. My kiddos are not really of the age to be eating steak a whole lot, so this is like a perfect portion for me and my husband. And it's actually a long weekend this weekend, so this might actually be a good time potentially to like fire up the grill and do some steaks on the grill. Honestly, I feel like steak pretty much have to be grilled. I mean, obviously there's other ways to make them, but for me, I feel like steak needs to just like have grill marks on it. So either we gotta use like a cast iron grill pan or we have to make them outside. This is kind of my husband's department, so I bet he didn't know that this video that I'm filming was going to involve work for him. But I love me some ribs. I don't know about y'all, but I like eating things off the bone. Like, don't you feel like eating food off the bone, like ribs or even like steak or wings? Like, isn't that just more fun? Because you get to eat it with your hands, and I feel like it's just like a fun way to enjoy your protein. I feel like maybe some people might think it's gross to like gnaw on a bone. Not that I'm eating the bone, but I feel like it's just more fun. So as soon as I just saw these ribs in here, like I instantly got excited because I feel like this is just a fun meal to make. My husband really loves smoking meat. He like, that's a kind of like a hobby of his he's gotten into in his like dad life. So these are St. Louis style pork ribs, and I love how these are also just like branded, like they're ButcherBox specific brand pork. So again, you know where they're coming from, you know they're ethically and sustainably sourced. This is almost 2.5 pounds. So this is a good portion. I was gonna say this will definitely be enough for us, but honestly, like when I eat ribs, I eat ribs. So this would definitely be a good portion. And that's the other thing with the different box options. You can get the size that will fit your family. And if you want to custom something, like say you're having like a barbecue or a grill out or a party or something, you want to get a larger selection of a certain cut, like some more rib or a large amount of chicken or something like that, you can totally customize your box to get the cuts and the quantity of whatever specific protein you're in need of. But I think I think this would be enough for him and I. That would be so good, like smoked. That's all I'm thinking about now. We have another big old pack of chicken here, and these are antibiotic-free chicken breasts, and these each have 1 to 2 breasts per pouch. This is another thing that I super appreciate about the way these are packaged, again, because it's just like me and my husband, and then we have a toddler and a baby. We're not like cooking or needing a ton of protein at any one time, like for any one specific recipe. So I really appreciate that these are portioned the way they are. Same with the tenders. I don't know about y'all, but like whenever I get meat at the grocery store, you know, in styrofoam and all that, it's usually more than we're making in one sitting. So then I have to like cook some of it or cook all of it, and then like hopefully we use it all up, or cook some of it and then put the rest in like a freezer bag, which I feel like never really stores particularly well. And then sometimes you like forget that you have it, or it's not labeled, so you're not exactly sure what type of chicken it is and all that kind of stuff. So having things pre-portioned like this is so handy, because this is exactly what we would need for one meal. We can easily just open this package and then leave these in the freezer and then grab them when we need them. Or if you live like alone and you're just cooking meals for like 1 or 2 and you just like don't need huge packs of protein, this is the perfect option because you have exactly what you need. You don't have to waste or defrost more than you need. So I'm super excited about this, and these are organic. So if you are an organic lover, you will love that chicken. And then here in the bottom is a bunch of grass-fed ground beef. I love ground beef. I feel like I'm like maybe a little bit of a weirdo in that way. I just like love ground beef. Like if you just made me some like seasoned ground beef with like rice and a little bit of sauce, I would be happy. I mean, I guess there should be like a vegetable in there, but like I just love ground beef. Honestly, when I see ground beef like this, all I want to make is sloppy joes. That's so random. I feel like most people would probably think like tacos or something. I also just watched an episode of Rachel Ray. I love Rachel Ray. She's my favorite, literally, like since I was a child. I've loved Rachel Ray. And I just watched an episode and she made sloppy joes, so maybe that's also why it's on the brain. But that's my her sauce. Like that's what I want to make with this, or meatloaf. But that's also like very fall vibes, and like I said, it is still hot out, but I have fall in the brain, so I'm kind of thinking like cozy comfort meals. And again, this is 100% grass-fed, grass-finished. I feel like the quality of your meat really matters, and with ButcherBox you can know that you are getting things that are high quality. They like started high quality in just like the way the animals are raised and taken care of, and then they get to you in a way that is like extremely trustworthy in terms of how it's packaged and how cold everything is. It's gonna show up on your porch just as good as it was when they packaged it. And I kind of feel like the value, now that I'm like seeing it, I feel like you can in your head think about how much, you know, 9 pounds or 12 pounds or 14 pounds of meat is, but like to actually see all this, like this is taking up almost my whole entire counter. When you see how much meat this is, especially for the price and the quality and the fact that it's shipped for free, and you know where all this meat came from, like it's literally traceable. You could literally find out where they get their proteins from, like in the world. I feel like that makes the value of it like go up, especially compared to like traditional meat purchasing styles, like going to the store where obviously you don't necessarily know like where it came from, how long it's been at the store, how it was raised, antibiotics, hormones, like all of that kind of stuff. I feel like if you really want to know what you're eating, and then also like not have to actually shop for it or go pick it up or anything like that, that cannot be beat. Like I will insert a clip right here so y'all can see just like the sheer amount of food here on my counter. This is so much food and such a cool selection. We literally have beef, pork, chicken, fish. We also have like a variety of different cuts of chicken, a variety of different cuts of beef, and there's nothing here that I'm not like salivating over. I mean, obviously it's not cooked yet, but the potential deliciousness of all of this in front of me is getting me so excited. So I obviously need to go pop this stuff in the freezer and get to thinking about, like I said, I like couldn't really plan a meal for this because I didn't know exactly what was gonna be in this box. But now that it's here, my wheels are turning, so I need to decide what I'm gonna defrost, what we're gonna make together. But this unboxing has been so much fun. Have y'all, like, did y'all ever think when you were like 10 years ago, when you were like, I was just gonna say 10 years ago when I was a teenager. I'm in my 30s now. I was certainly not a teenager 10 years ago. I literally don't feel like I'm as old as I am. I'm sure a lot of y'all can relate to that. I never thought I'd be so excited about a box full of frozen meat. But here we are. And thank you again to ButcherBox for sending all this stuff over. This was such a cool opportunity, such a cool little surprise. I cannot wait to make a little something. So once I come up with something, we'll get to cooking. Oh, and I wanted to mention kind of same thing with the chicken. I love that these are all in 1 pound portions, the ground beef. Again, so if you are not cooking like a huge quantity, you can just defrost 1 pound at a time instead of at the grocery store. Like I typically have no choice but to buy like many pounds, and I'm never cooking like a huge massive quantity of ground beef just like for me and my husband. So I typically have to like put some back in the freezer, and I hate doing that. So I love that I can just defrost 1 pound at a time, 2 pounds at a time, whatever. This is like the most ideal package.
This is what I mean. This like individual packaging is so handy because I got to just break all these apart and throw them in the freezer, which was so convenient. So as for the recipe that I'm going to show y'all, this is literally the easiest thing ever. And I've made this a couple of times and I've turned a lot of people onto it because it's so easy. You just grab 2 of the chicken breasts. I'm so excited to try these ButcherBox ones. Just create like a little hole, like a little pocket in them. You don't want to cut all the way through. And then you literally just fill this up with your favorite dip. I always use spinach artichoke or like something like that because it goes really well with chicken and it like kind of melts up and it gets all warm. This is literally like a 3-ingredient recipe. You cannot beat it. You just stuff them full of your favorite dip. And then I would also recommend seasoning the inside of the chicken breast. I forgot to do that. Just throw them in the air fryer and cover them with a little bit of cheese and a little bit of seasoning. And then you just throw them in for like 20 minutes. It's literally the easiest, lowest maintenance meal ever. And it's so good and full of protein. And right now ButcherBox is doing a couple different promos for the month of September. They have a football promo and new members get free ground beef and wings with every single box for 6 months, which is literally like the most perfect promo for football season. And then from the 9th to the 16th, y'all can get free ribeyes in every single box for a year. My chicken got a little bit crispy, but that didn't change. The flavor of this chicken was so juicy and so flavorful, even though I hadn't seasoned it a ton. So I can definitely attest to the fact that this chicken tastes as high quality as it is. Run to the description box to grab a link to ButcherBox and try them for yourself.